Well, indeed, a very good evening to you. It's Saturday, the 23rd of June, 2012. I'm James Karani, and this is KTN Saturday Night Live. And this evening, Kenyans will be able to know just how big of a problem the issue of Kenyan maids going to the Middle East is. KTN has pictures that will probably shock you. Over 300 Kenyans destined for this particular region in one single day. Joy, I don't know if you've taken a look at the pictures, but I must say they're really shocking.
That's for sure. And, you know, the question now stands with the recruitment agencies. Didn't they know about government's plan to, hold these house helps or housekeepers at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport? But, well, we'll be giving you more details in as far as that regard. But, well, let's start by looking at the highlights on tonight's bulletin. Saudi-bound house helps stranded as ban on travels is enforced. London, here we come. Kenya names a strong athletics squad for the Olympics. Another man is assaulted by his wife in Nyeri.
Siwezi kukupa chama, nikupe pesa, nikutume kwenda simama kama sikutumii.
Wale ambao wako na shida na sheria vile ilipitishwa wako na haki pia ya kwenda mahakamani.
We are not here to fight an individual or a community. We are here to fight against poverty, to fight against corruption.
Presidential hopefuls back on the campaign trail. Good evening and welcome to this edition of KTN Saturday Night. Now, about 300 Kenyan domestic workers bound for the Middle East are this evening stranded at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport after the government suspended the recruitment of domestic workers or housekeepers to the Arab states. Recruitment agencies say the government's move caught them unawares since they had already scheduled departures of more than 300 Kenyans this weekend. The government banned Kenyan house helps from seeking employment in the Middle East because some have been mistreated and even killed. Now, Mala Kivela reports from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport.
Just yesterday, after the Kenyan government suspended the recruitment and export of domestic workers or housekeepers to the Middle East, a section of Kenyans who benefit from exporting laborers abroad have raised complaints saying the decision to suspend work in the Middle East will deny many Kenyans opportunities.
We've witnessed even people, men who are supposed to go work in bakeries and other companies, they've also been stopped. They had their visas ready, they had their tickets ready, and the government is not providing enough jobs as promised.
Today, about 300 Kenyan domestic workers bound to the Middle East got stranded at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport after the government cancelled their trip. Even though their dreams for greener pastures have been cut short, they opted to hang around at the airport, maybe hoping for a change of heart by the government. Hours later, they're still here and declined our request for news interview. Two agents involved in recruiting house helps for the Middle East say that the government's move was unfair as they had already prepared some house helps to travel abroad. The government stopped Kenyans from seeking employment in Saudi and Dubai because they were being mistreated, denied food and salary.
What I would suggest is the government forms bilateral contracts with the other countries such that in case of people having any problems and the government's responsible can take care of the individual rights.
The agents maintain that whenever they take Kenyans to work in these countries, they follow up on their stay, ensuring that they live comfortably, refuting claims that all the workers get mistreated.
Tunasemanga na tunasema vizuri, mtu asilazimizwe kazi kwenda. Kama hataki kazi yakae nchi yake. Juu hapa kazi iko. Ile mtu anaweza jipatia lakini wengi sana ni wale wanasema hakuna kazi. Lakini wale wanaweza kujifanyia kazi yao mwenyewe bila kuangalia kuajiriwa, hao wanaendelea mbele.
As the quest for working abroad heightens among skilled and semi-skilled Kenyans, only a handful understand the implications of working in countries where labor laws are often ignored. Mala Kivila, KTN, Nairobi.
Residents of Syokimau remember the 13th of November 2011 as the day the world came crashing down on them. It was the day government's bulldozers arrived to tear down homes alleged to have been built on land belonging to the Kenya Airports Authority.
Gashoka Member of Parliament Mutava Musimi would lead a delegation to the area to get the heart of the matter, ostensibly so that legitimate property owners could be compensated. But that has not happened, prompting Syokimau evictees to move to court. Tonight, KTN's Wilkis Tanyabwa revisits Syokimau.
Coming home, it has been 6 months since Arthur Omolo visited what used to be his plot of land in Syokimau. He describes the layout of his house, a maisonette which cost him 10 million shillings to build. Until last November, he lived here with his family. Now there is nothing left but debris and memories.
This place used to be lively when we used to stay here.
On this occasion, he meets with other property owners. Only last year they were neighbors. Since the demolition of houses they built on land alleged to belong to the Kenya Airports Authority, each has been forced to find accommodation elsewhere.
Life has become so difficult. You can imagine you've not been paying rent. Now you have to pay rent, other bills.
Most preferring to remain in the immediate area, in part because the neighborhood is convenient, but also for the comfort of being near what was once theirs.
You wonder what the hurry was. Nobody has come even to fence it. It has become a dumping site. So we are still wondering what was the hurry.
After months away, they have returned because of a notice in the newspaper that awakened their hopes. This year, 409 households which purchased plots from the Mlolongo brothers banded together and moved to court, seeking compensation. The notice in the newspaper invites other Syokimau victims to join the petition following a ruling by Justice Lenaola.
He permitted a few individuals to institute the suit on behalf of all the victims.
In the suit, the Attorney General and the Commissioner of Lands are named as defendants. The evictees are seeking compensation for the financial and psychological losses suffered.
Some of them acquired loans from banks, to put up those constructions, and they are still paying for those loans.
Last year, a parliamentary committee led by Gashoka MP Mutava Musimi recommended that the government compensate the genuine landowners. An audit firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, was contracted to conduct a forensic audit. Yet still it remains unclear whether the evictees will be compensated.
When the government descends upon its citizens and demolishes their property, can that be said to be in full compliance of these provisions?
And as the debate rages as to the legitimacy of their claims and their fate, they cling to hope.
If I were to be compensated even today, the next thing that I would do is basically to buy a piece of land, construct a home, and then settle again in Nairobi.
Hoping that their numbers will help to make their voices heard. I'm Wilkis Tanyabwa reporting for KTN.
Stay tuned, because in just a while we're back to Nyeri for, unfortunately, very predictable reasons. But first of all, let's bring you up to speed with the Olympics team that will be representing our country in London. And a galaxy of Africa, World, Commonwealth and defending Olympic champions have been selected to defend Kenya's historic medal record at the Olympic Games in London. World record holder in 800 meters, David Rudisha, will headline a 24-strong track athletes after they secured their Olympic tickets on the last day of the National Olympic Game trials at the Now National Stadium. Sadiq Shaban reports.
Friends turned foes and team efforts were shoved aside for a moment as more than 50 athletes battled for the 24 slots available on track for the London Olympic Games. The grudge was finally settled in the final of the men 5,000 meters as those that missed the 10,000 meters finals in the United States finally asserted their revenge. Isaiah Kiplagat upstaged big names to grab a ticket alongside Edwin Soy and Thomas Kemei Longosiwa. Two historical milestones were achieved in the final of the women 5,000 meters when Vivian Cheruiyot grabbed the ticket alongside the already secured 10,000 meters race. Sally Kipyego, who also finished second in the 10,000 meters last week, also took second place ahead of Viola Kibiwot.
I'm so happy because I've already got a ticket of Olympic Games in 5,000 and last week 10,000, which is so nice for me.
In the absence of the women 1500 Olympic champion, Ellen Obiri fully capitalized on her finishing kicks to earn a ticket to London and was joined by Eunice Sum and Faith Chepngetich. An elite team of the men 1500 meters comprising defending Olympic champion Asbel Kiprop, world silver medalist Silas Kiplagat and rising star Nixon Chepseba was confirmed for the games.
My main agenda was to make the team to finish the top 3 and get selected to represent Kenya in the Olympics. I believe things are going to change maybe in London.
Women 3,000 meters steeplechase race was physical and fast, with the best athlete in the world this year, Melka Chemos Chewa, painfully paying the price of winning after getting spiked. She qualified alongside Marcin Joroge and Lydia Chesobi.
Yeah, I had it when I was running, but I had to at least work hard because in athletics, these things are normal.
There was a drama in the men 3,000 meters race when early pace setter Paul Kipsiele Koech and Africa champion Richard Kemboi Matalong failed to make the cut, giving Brimin Kipruto, Abel Mutai and Ezekiel Kemboi moments to dance and celebrate their achievements.
My target was to be in the team top 2, and it has worked for me well. So I think, London.
Olympic defending champion in 800 meters, Pamela Jelimo was in her finest element, leading Jan Chelagat and Janet Chepkosgei from the gun to the tape.
I had a small injury, but I'm getting better and better. And about this year, I think what we did in Beijing, we are praying that we repeat.
I'm back. I was determined, and I said several times, maybe in different stations, that I will be back, and I know my time will come.
And saving the last for the fastest, world champion and world record holder in 800 meters, David Lekuta Rudisha, did not break a sweat winning his race, with Timothy Kitum and Anthony Chemut grabbing a ticket each to the games.
Nothing is easy, and this is being part of my preparation, and I have really worked hard and I've trained hard, and I'm in good shape, and that's why you're seeing this performance look easy, but it's take a lot to be in that position.
If you look at most of the athletes have posted some of the best times in the world, and that means they have been competing against the people they are going to compete with in London. It's our hope that we should be improving on what we did last time.
Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka assured the team that the government will fully support their preparations as they start their residential camp in Kasarani for the next 3 weeks before heading out for the Global Games kicking off on July 27th.
After 2 vigorous and rigorous days of Olympic trials, Team Kenya has finally been selected and unveiled. 2012 London Olympics, according to the organizers, will see a revamped Kenyan team and a team that is out to make history. This is Sadiq Shaban reporting from Nyayo National Stadium.
Thanks, Sadiq Shaban. Now, still keeping with the Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, he has now urged media practitioners in the Eastern Africa region to develop their own code of ethics and establish self-regulatory systems. Kalonzo also called on governments in the region to comprehensively review legal provisions that restrict freedom of expression and replace them with laws that meet internationally accepted standards of freedom of expression. We have the details.
A section of media practitioners from the Eastern Africa Journalists Association are holding a regional workshop in Nairobi on media law reform. It was here that Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka challenged governments in the region to repeal oppressive media legislation to comply with their national constitutions that pledge commitment to guaranteeing freedom of expression and media freedom.
There is growing concern from fraternities of journalists that those among them prosecuted under criminal law are not even granted the right to appeal contrived allegations of defamation.
He called on media practitioners in the region to develop their own code of ethics and root out quacks from the industry.
We do have a very serious professional code of conduct. And this is what I think journalists must be bold enough to do, to be able to come up with that, and to be able to tell those amongst you who demean the very noble profession of journalism that you cannot take it.
We are crossing the threshold of state control and regulation. By setting up the Media Council, the government pretty much said that let the industry regulate itself. And so the fear of looking behind our shoulders to see what the big brother in the government is doing is really behind us.
Media practitioners in Kenya are also running against time to ensure various media laws comply with the constitution. The freedom of expression, freedom of the media and access to information are now entrenched in the constitution. Some of the challenges media practitioners face were identified.
The first challenge, in my view, that we still confront in the industry is that of self-censorship in the media houses. We must continue working on this so that we do not fear our shadows. The second threat that I believe we still face in the media is the influence from the business community, the influence from advertisers, and the influence from those who have vested interest in the industry.
It is expected that discussions in this seminar will lead to the development of a blueprint that will guide and standardize media reforms in the Eastern Africa region. Patrick Amimo, KTN, Saturday Night.
James, getting a perfect makeup in Kenya is, an experience that I would say, not everyone is actually privileged to get, especially the street families.
I'd imagine the same. However, in Nakuru, more than 50 homeless people experienced such elegance of touch during a ceremony campaign arranged by a beauty college and religious organizations. Zipporah Karani has that story from Nakuru.
At Nakuru's Matendo Community Church.
Niko poa, nimefurahia sana na hii urembo. Wamenirembesha kuanzia kwa kichwa mpaka kwa makucha. Bwana wabariki. Amen.
Street boys are ushered in for a chance of a lifetime.
Hatuna mavazi, lakini tumefurahia sana kwa vile tumekuja kufanywa cleaning, kunyorewa, kupakwa cutex kwa mikono, hata kwa vyakula.
Free grooming, from pedicure to manicure to hairstyling. All in an effort to make the homeless people happy. The grooming campaign was arranged by students from Nakuru's Optimum Beauty College and a religious organization in Nakuru town.
Wenye Kenya, karibuni kusaidia vijana. Tuko wadogo na tuko wengi sana, lakini nyinyi mnazo. Hakuna mwenye atazikwa na gari, hakuna mwenye atazikwa na nyumba. Tusaidianeni kama ndugu na tusikue.
These kids, they need love. They are people who have never experienced love. So we just came here to show our love to them, because they really need it, so that they don't feel that discriminated from this. When you meet these children on your own, maybe on the street, you may not want to associate with them.
Na pia kuongelesha, kuwapatia matumaini katika maisha yao. So watu hawa ni vigumu sana kuweza kupata watu hawa, lakini tunaonyesha upendo, ndiposa wamekuja. Tumekuwa tukifanya program hii ambayo tunaita feeding program. Tumekuwa tukiwalisha Jumatatu, Jumanne na Alhamisi, siku 3 kwa wiki. Na wamekuwa kikuja, wanakula, wanaoga, wanakuwa wasafi, alafu tunawapatia chakula, alafu tunawahubiria, alafu wanacheza michezo. Baada ya haya masaa 8 wanarudi mitaani. So tumekuwa tukifanya hii kwa muda wa miaka 7.
Some of the street boys say the grooming has opened their eyes to the need to earn a decent living.
Kama ni kazi yote, bora tu serikali wasitukimbishe. Watupe tu kazi, tumeamua kutoka mtaa. Na kama wana uwezo, hata kama wachuliwe home zingine. Tunaona vijana wenzetu wanakujaga wanaenda. Sikatai, hakuna mtu mwenye afanyagi atendagi dhambi. Lakini unajua ukijua kukaisha mtu chini na muombe atakusikia. Na sisi tunaomba tu kazi, sisi wakubwa, wale wadogo wapelekwe shule, wale wengine wapelekwe. Kuna wachezaji wa mpira, kuna wachezaji wa karate, ngumi.
According to statistics, There are over 864 street families in Nakuru town, and local leaders say this could grow further as most families face economic challenges.
Kenya kiraga watuma sisi tunaongezeka kama sasa Nakuru tuko wengi sisi majango, tuko na vijana wa Molo, tuko na vijana wa Kericho, tuko na vijana wa Eldoret, tuko na vijana wa karibu Kenya mzima tuko nao hapa juu ya crash yenye ilitokea. Sasa tuko wengi hapa sana.
Tupunguze town. Wamekuwa wengi sasa na chakula hakuna, kazi hakuna, ndio hizi, vitu mingi ndio hizi. Watoto bana. Na wado wanazaana juu kuna mamanzi na kuna machari.
Pastor Paul Mwai, one of the organizers of the grooming campaign, says they have purchased a 12-acre piece of land to build a school for the street families.
Leo tunajaribu kuonesha upendo sababu watu hawa hawajapitia upendo kwa muda mrefu na wanaona kama wamedharauliwa.
The noble idea has gone a long way to create smiles in the faces of the street families.
Oh God.
Zipora Karani, KTN, reporting from the county of Nakuru.
Well, from the world of beauty, let's quickly move to politics. And politicians return to the campaign trail after a 2-week break. Different parties pitched tent in various parts of the country. Prime Minister Raila Odinga's ODM was in Kisii. Uhuru Kenyatta's National Alliance was in Nyeri.
Musalia Mudavadi's UDF pitched tent in Busia, as well as Justice Minister Eugene Wamalwa and Lugari Member Parliament Cyrus Jirongo. Samogina checks the political pulse in the country.
After a 2-week break from political campaigns, politicians hit the campaign trail on a charged note. The Orange Brigade pitched tent in Kisii, where they blasted their colleagues in Parliament for arbitrary amendments on the electoral laws. ODM has threatened to table a vote of no confidence motion against the Parliamentary Committee on Implementation of the Constitution Chairman Abdikadir Mohamed over complicity on the outrageous amendments.
Hapa Kenya ni mmoja tu, ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Lakini kuna mabepari mabwenyenye ambao kazi yao ni kukandamiza haki za Wakenya.
In Busia, Mudavadi was meeting elders from the area where he brushed aside his ODM critics and expressed optimism of clinching the presidency in the first round.
Mimi nataka tucheze mpira dakika 90. Tumalize uchaguzi. Kwa sababu hii kitu wanaita runoff. Tukienda kwa runoff, yani extra time, mimi namwambia tension itarudi tena kwa taifa letu.
Justice Minister Eugene Wamalwa, Lugari MP Cyrus Jirongo, Naivasha MP John Mututho attended a fundraising drive in Busia. Jirongo indicated he could quit URP. The Lugari MP says Eldoret North MP William Ruto and Deputy Prime Minister Musalia Mudavadi are State House projects.
Ukiangalia URP, mumesikia tunavurugana na Ruto. Kwa sababu mimi nikiangalia mwenendo wake atafuta urais. Ako na mbinu zingine za kutumiwa kugawa watu.
We are not here to fight an individual or a community. We are here to fight against poverty, to fight against corruption, to fight against bad governance, and to fight against negative ethnicity and impunity. That is why we are looking for leadership.
Ruto was in Wajir, where he led the URP battalion in opening up URP party offices in the county. Ruto supported the degree cap on MPs as a requirement for elective offices.
Ni haki ya bunge kupitisha sheria. Wale ambao wako na shida na sheria vile ilipitishwa, wako na haki pia ya kwenda mahakamani ama kumuuliza rais.
Mimi nilipigana kidogo, nilisema watu wakubaliwe, hata kama hawana masomo mingi wakubaliwe kusimama, lakini nilishindwa nguvu.
Deputy Prime Minister Uhuru Kenyatta was in Nyeri to drum up support for the National Alliance. Uhuru says an agreement with the other Mount Kenya parties to form a coalition ahead of the forthcoming general election is in the offing.
Hatutafuti mtu mmoja, tunatafuta timu ambayo itaweza kufanya kazi pamoja. Na mimi niko tayari kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumefanya juu chini kuunganisha wale ambao fikira zao na sera zao zinafanana pamoja.
Hatutaki kwenda kubahatisha. Kama tunaenda kubahatisha, tuambie tuende kila mtu na chama yake.
Samogina, KTN Saturday Night.
Well, and talking about Nyeri, let's just stay there, because a 45-year-old man in Nyeri is nursing serious injuries after he was allegedly assaulted by his wife. The man said he'd been assaulted by his wife not once, but several occasions for failing to provide food for the family. KTN's Carol Nderi reports from Nyeri.
The anger of irate villagers in Getadine village in Nyeri County, trying to break down the door of one Anne Njeri, who had barricaded herself in the house hoping to save herself from the rage of the seething crowd. Her crime? Allegedly, the pregnant 33-year-old Njeri beat up her husband last night and even injured his sensitive bits. This, at least according to neighbors who heard and saw the ordeal.
Alikuwa amegogwa kichwa, damu ilikuwa inatoka kwa mapua na mkono. Ni kama kitu kama kashuma, sababu nilikuwa nasikia ko. Alafu alikuwa anamshika sehemu za siri, sababu alikuwa anasema, akipiga duru anasema dekia leo. Sasa ndio hapo nikasema sitafumilia, nikapiga duru.
Not only is she accused of physically abusing her husband,
akona mpango wa kado. Hata wazee wanakuja tu hapo, mzee anaambiwa lale jikoni, wanalala kwa nyumba.
But the accused defended herself, saying malicious neighbors just wanted to tarnish her name.
Watoto ni yake, hata mkimuuliza ni yake. Watoto ni yake yote, hata iko kwa tumbo ni yake.
Ni ya mzee mwingine anaitwa sijui Kefea wa hapa chini.
Sasa Kefea mimi simjui, alikuwa anaandika huyu. Na huyu alikuwa anaandikwa, mimi hata sijui mahali alikuwa anaandikwa.
And what does the alleged victim, 45-year-old Stanley Mokuha Rokwaro, have to say for himself?
Kikoza kuja na uga akakasirika.
And does the lady admit to beating her husband?
Mimi sikuwa na kwa kupenda kwangu. Sio kupenda kwangu. Alikuwa anataka kunipiga tip. Mimi nilikuwa nikinjikinga asinipige tumbo.
The neighbors also claim the wife has been dragging her husband.
Tunataka watu waishi kwa heshima, waheshimiane na wajenge familia. Lakini kama basi ni kupigana, unajua tunaweza tengeneza tournament.
Why then are these cases of husband battery on the rise? Undoubtedly, there is need for dire intervention in this region. Carol Nderi for KTN Weekend Prime in Nyeri County.
Well, that's not the first time we're seeing that happen in Nyeri. But, well, let's move on to some political news here. Pressure continues to mount for President Mwai Kibaki to reject a raft of amendments to key bills. The civil society has accused members of parliament of mutilating the constitution. Civil society groups will on Monday hold mass protest against the amendments, as KTN Sophia Wenuna reports.
Civil society groups led by the Federation of Women Lawyers will on Monday lead a mass protest against the decision by members of parliament to amend sections of the law to allow party hopping. The groups have said they will petition the president not to assent to the amendments.
Parliament wants to take us back to the old days of party indiscipline and of the political class.
Members of parliament have been accused of seeking selfish interest in allowing for party hopping ahead of the coming general elections. And yet penalties have been put up for Kenyans who belong to more than one party.
How do we allow a law which allows a member of parliament to belong to more than 4 political parties? Kama wewe mtu wa kawaida ukipatikana umekuwa kwa vyama mbili, kuna hiyo penalty.
At the same time, the reintroduction of an electoral law requiring that only university degree holders hold positions in the Senate and National Assembly continues to receive sharp criticism from various leaders.
Lakini si kumaanisha ya kwamba parliament itakuwa kama chuo kikuu.
There are leaders who have not necessarily gone through secondary. Some even did not even went to primary, and they have become very effective leaders.
Parliament has no authority to violate the Constitution.
But perhaps it was not so much the public outcry that led members of the august house to do a U-turn on the education requirement, but the announcement by Finance Minister Robinson Githai that academic qualifications may affect how the Salaries and Remuneration Commission determines their pay. It is now emerging that over 80 members of parliament risk being locked out of the next elections as they do not hold degrees. The affected MPs are now petitioning President Kibaki not to assent to the statute law miscellaneous amendment bill 2012. But if he does, seeking legal recourse will be the only option left. The controversial amendment tabled by Transport Minister Amos Kimunya was followed by heated debate in Parliament. Kenyans, however, welcomed the return of the education ceiling, as such are the demands on ordinary mwananchi seeking employment in most sectors. Sophia Wanuna, KTN, Saturday Night Live.
Well, James, on the social network, especially on Twitter, there has been a trend, or can I say a string that has been running about Occupy Kenya, Occupy Parliament Kenya, and a lot of people have been giving their views about a lot of parliamentarians mutilating the constitution.
I mean, there's been hue and cry all over, and I agree with you. In terms of this public pressure that's mounting on our politicians, I think people have just got to a point they're saying this is too much, and everybody's in agreement besides the members of parliament. So, I mean, let's see if they relent.
Well, you're watching KTN Saturday Night, and just ahead,
I'm sure there's a story that you'd want to stay tuned to, especially the ladies, a story about spas and freelance masseurs. But not just that, KTN's Malaki Villa tells you the good ones and the bad ones and what you should be looking out for.
Across Africa. Insurance, investment management, property investment, and financial advisory. UAP. Better, simple life.
The Kabarak University Half Marathon will be held on 30th June 2012 in Mogotio town. The race begins from 6 a.m. at the Equator and finishes at the Kabarak University grounds. Registration is 300 shillings for the 21-kilometer half marathon, 1,000 shillings for the 5-kilometer corporate race, and 100 shillings for the children's race. You can register at all Transnational Bank branches, Mobile World offices, and CAS offices North Rift. Registration closes on 25th June. There are great cash prizes and heifers to be won. Proceeds from the marathon will help support Ngata Baby Care for abandoned children. Kabarak University, world-class education in biblical perspective.
What's your secret? There's no secret.
But it's no longer a secret. Zoya Sugar, sweetening Kenya since 1978.
I will pray for all the people of this land, and I will hold them close to me. Hey, yeah, yeah. All I need is a here right here in Africa. Share to give me here in Africa. All I need is a here right here in Africa. To give me a season, oh, start me, Africa. I love you, Africa. I love you, Africa. I love you, yeah. I love you, Africa. I love you,
And now, introducing another one. Triple distilled Crescent Vodka, now available from the home of quality. Truly Kenyan.
Hi, my name is Lawrence Chibi. I'm in high school. When I grow up, I want to be a banker because I like to play with numbers when I was young. I want to use big because I want to write in the future.
Think big, write big.
Welcome back. You're watching KTN Saturday Night.
Taking advantage of a dire situation. That's what a former teacher, Upton Goren, has done. At the height of the troubles of milk processor, the Kenya Cooperative's creameries in the 90s, this former teacher single-handedly built a milk cooling and processing plant that's gone a long way to assist farmers in Eldoret. KTN's Masi Kandia visited the plant and filed the following story.
From outside, it can be mistaken to be someone's house. Well, it is not. It's a milk processing plant run by a trained teacher turned farmer who quit his job in the 90s to offer solution to the farmers in Mugundoi region, prompted when there was high demand for milk in Nandi.
KCC was having problems when it was not paying the farmers. Now the farmers around realized that I had an outlet for my milk. So the nearest neighbors requested that I should buy their milk and sell in the same place where I'm selling mine.
So every morning, over 100 farmers bring their milk. The milk is then heated to kill germs, then left to cool. He used to sell fresh milk, but it did not have long life in the shops. Nowadays, it's cooled for longer. The milk solidifies. This ensures longer shelf life. The plunging is done to ensure the milk is smooth. The end result: expiry dates are placed just before packaging. Everything here is done manually, thus providing employment. His products are certified by the Kenya Bureau of Standards, competing with other established millers in the country. High cost of living has also had a negative impact to his business.
See, we package milk in plastic packets. These plastic packets appeals to the low-income earners. So they started buying less mala because, you see, you can substitute mala you can substitute sukuma wiki for mala.
In turn, he started milling flour, producing both dairy milk products and maize flour. So what exactly makes his customers return despite everything else?
It's a combination of price, service, and the fact that they are my neighbors.
Upton agrees the challenges are there, but he says he has come too far to quit. At the heart of Nandi, he will continue in the business that saw him quit his job and follow his heart. So what started as a solution to a problem way back in 1998, now offering more than one solution, employing over 21 people here in Nandi County. Masi Kandi reporting for KTN in Mugundoi in the county of Nandi.
Thanks, Masi Kandie. Now, keeping well in Kenya is very easy with a superb selection of spas, freelance masseurs, and beauty centers found almost anywhere you choose to stay, from hairdressing to spa treatment, massage to laser treatments, dentistry to pedicures. You can get them all almost anywhere in the country. But what sets the difference is the degree of quality that one receives from a beauty session that is wholly determined by the level of expertise the beautician has. KTN's Mala Kivila spent a day with one of the spas, or at one of the spas in Nairobi, and brings us the experience.
skincare is a major field of one's self, because you look at yourself, this is me. How do I want to be identified? So you're always conscious of your skin, even when you don't know it, because we go to the mirror, man or woman, you go to a mirror, you look at yourself every morning, you're looking at how you look. Am I presentable?
The eyes are described as the windows of the soul, the mouth as the courier of thoughts, and the nose as the servant of all vocation. The skin is just the frame to the picture. Unfortunately, many judge themselves according to this frame, paying little or no attention to other body parts. On arrival at Studio Jackie, a spa in Karen, Nairobi, the welcome you'll receive is extremely friendly. The staff are all experienced beauticians, all aimed at making you feel at home and relax. The services range from nail care, facials, massages, and many more. In nail care, a special machine is used to dry the polish without you having to worry about your polish smudging. In addition, you get your nails done as you enjoy your favorite drink. Here too, massages vary. One that is rarely done here in Kenya is the grasshopper massage. Very convenient, and you can get it at any place you are in.
The grasshopper massage is meant for relaxing the body. For people who are maybe in a hurry, you don't have time to do a massage. So basically it's just for relaxing, and it's very handy because it's only for a few minutes.
Swedish massage is yet another one that is offered here.
We are using an olive oil mixed with peppermint. Yeah. When you want to do a massage, you make sure your hands are warm. You start by applying the oil.
The spa also offers facial services, not to mention the quality line of products. They use state-of-the-art machines. Jackie, the owner of the spa, tells us more on what made her venture into this so dreaded business and her inspiration behind starting her line of makeup products.
I also had problems with my skin. It wasn't this clear before. I had few marks of acne. I had a breakout of acne also, and it was tough dealing with that. Like I said, I'm a social psychology major, so, and I've always known inside and outside is beauty. So with the frustration of just having the freckles and all that, I started looking into what do I do. Okay, I went to some dermatologists and who led me towards the right direction.
The spa salons has quality equipment meant to make you relaxed as you enjoy the services offered to you. The staff here are trained in the latest styling trends, not to mention that they are the official stylists for the Tusker Project Fame competition.
Cosmetology in this country is widespread, and the service that you get, the quality is what makes it different. I am from getting a full makeover. I've taken you through the whole process and I feel new, I feel great. So quality really matters when it comes to skin care, when it comes to body care, your massage and everything. So make sure that when you go up there, you get quality service for what you give. For KTN, I am Mala Kivila.
I think it really looks like that particular spa worked well for her. But let's keep it healthy, and ideally, one should lose about 3 kilos in a month. But a weight management center, which has become popular with Nairobi women, promises a lot more. On our weekly segment, Healthy You, we're sought to find out just how safe and sustainable this is.
It is said that if you want to capture the attention of a woman struggling with weight, talk of a weight loss program promising quick results. Such is a program offered by George Kamau of Weight Management Center.
What we have is, we can just say we have one program, and it's a diet-based program. Basically, when I say diet-based, you're talking of food supplements. So we use food supplements to help people lose their weight, naturally.
He says the products he uses are organic and with no side effects. He is quick to tell us that the program also fits into one's schedule as it does not involve tedious trips to the gym. He adds that it is convenient and schedule friendly.
I said this program can be broken down into weekly stages, and let me just say discount the cost in terms of weeks. So when you get started and you just want to purchase a product that you need for that week, in week 1 you'll end up spending 3,000 shillings. In week 2, in this particular week 1, you're looking to lose between 0.5 kgs and 6 kgs. That's typically the maximum I've seen so far. In week 2, which is now the fat burning process, you're looking to lose between 1 kg and 3 kgs.
However, as he insists, not everyone is eligible to use this product.
Major weight issues, you're finding most chicks these days, someone is big and watu wanatumia, people are using pills to trying to get rid of their weight, which I don't think it's healthy because you're finding that there are so many side effects.
Many chicks think that having a figure 6 is the only, as in it's the best thing, it's not.
Philip, a gym trainer at the Muscle and Health Gym on Mombasa Road, says the use of supplements on weight management depends on an individual and should not be a shortcut to weight reduction. He adds that it is impossible to achieve proper weight management results without exercise.
To start with, for me, if those pills or whatever they're taking, it could be working, we could not have such a setups of the gyms and so on. They can work on one side, but now the side effects are there. What I can say for such a kind of people, one, have to be patient.
Alice Ndong, a nutrition consultant, says that although some of the meal replacements in the market could be safe to use, there are those that could harm you, especially if used without proper expert advice.
Well, they are safe in that they've been studied. Not all of them, by the way. There are companies in the world that actually just deal with meal replacements, weight loss methods, and so what they do, they actually manufacture a healthy powder that you can take, put in a cup and drink, and that will provide you the nutrients for a meal.
Alice further says that although some of the supplements could be safe, there are others that could have fatal side effects.
The side effects can be severe weight loss, like excess weight loss. And when you lose a lot of weight, where the fat actually is a hormone is produced, fat is used to produce hormones, is used to produce something called prostaglandins, Fat is used as a storage for vitamins. So when you lose weight so fast, you will interfere with your hormonal levels, so you have hormone imbalances. You will have deficiencies of fat-soluble vitamins, And then you also weaken your muscles, because if you lose weight so fast, then you're not breaking the fat, you're also breaking your muscles.
As a parting shot, both George and Alice had this one thing to say about weight management.
There's all sorts of things that encourage people to eat, and you find yourself having a bloated diet very, very easily. And this is what really puts us in business.
To lengthen thy lives, lessen thy meals.
Well, it is said that we can reverse years of damage to our bodies by deciding to raise standards for ourselves. With discipline and a healthy lifestyle, we achieve a better version of ourselves with just a few changes in what we put in our bodies and how we move them.
Enough with these germs, but germs are getting tougher. You need advanced protection. Lifebuoy Advanced Lifebuoy gives protection against 10 infection-causing germs. 10 infection-causing germs. 1 advanced protection. Lifebuoy.
and wisdom beyond borders.
Drostihof Sauvignon Blanc is a white wine best known for its grassy herbal flavors. Sauvignon Blanc is also called Fume Blanc and is a popular choice for fish, shellfish dishes and poultry dishes. Drostihof. Every year is a good year.
Herbal Betasil medicated lozenges. Fast, effective, and soothing action for sore throats.
A sore throat can be so uncomfortable and just makes you miserable, making swallowing painful, talking a bother, and even singing stressful. When you have a sore throat, take it easy. Ensure you take plenty of fluids, and remember, always, when symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Now introducing 2 new Betasil flavors, Betasil Menthol and Betasil Peppermint.
See, there is a voice that cries, there is no better time to wage this war for peace, to fight this cruel disease. If we could just use our heads, if we could just use morphine, sleep under a net, keep our surroundings clean, cause we're losing our people every day, and every day malaria thrives, taking our children, dreams away. We stand prepared, and we take a stand to fight malaria. So please lend hand. Save the future, take the lead. We can do it, we're a team. Together we're one team.
Mi personally naweza sema ni makosa ya couples wote wawili, sababu wote ndio wana engage into the sexual activity itself. So mimi nasema whatever the outcome, wote wawili wanafaa take responsibility of kenye inaweza fanyika.
Both, because the chick should tell the guy they should use a condom, and if they didn't use the condom, the guy should remind the chick to take some pills.
I think inafaa ikuwe shida ya boy, kwa sababu hafai kukubali dem wakiona have sex bila condom, kwa sababu anaweza get ball na anaweza kuwa hana dawa kuresume to. So inafaa ikuwe issue ya boy hiyo story.
Welcome to KTN Sport Today. Now, the rough and brutal side of the Olympic trials claimed several key athletes who missed out on tickets for the London Olympic Games. Africa and Commonwealth 3,000 meter steeplechase guru Richard Matalong, world 800 meters silver medalist Alfred Kirayego, and former world champion Lynette Masai in 10,000 meters were the biggest casualties of the day. Our reporter Victor Ogale was at the Nyayo National Stadium and brings us the rest of the story.
The Nyayo National Stadium for the better part of Saturday was home to the kings and queens of track as Kenya held its national athletics trials, and security was at its peak as anyone who gained access to the facility was not spared. Kenya's athletics enthusiasts had their fair share of sporting heroes they only see through the television sets. The curse of failing to make the Kenyan Olympic team returned to haunt celebrated athletes. 3,000 meters Olympics bronze medalist Richard Matalong and world 800 meters bronze medalist Alfred Kirayego will have to wait for 4 more years to make another attempt at the Olympic Games qualifications.
I'm disappointed because I thought Matalong was in the team, but unfortunately, this is the race. We must accept everything. It's you lose or you win.
Lynette Masai will forever regret pulling out of last week's 10,000 meters qualifiers as she missed out again on the finals of the 5,000 meters during the trials. Two-time world junior 3,000 meters champion Mercy Cherono is yet to find a footing for the Olympics. Eliud Kipchoge was no exception in the 5,000 men's race as he also missed.
Hii mbio haina mwenyewe na haina specialist, lakini naamini ya kwamba kila mmoja mwenye ana prepare mzuri ataweza win mbio.
A special edition of the weekly sports show KTN Sports Final aired on the sidelines of the trials. Ezekiel Kimbo and David Risha were crowd favorites. Our efforts of making sure you, our valued viewer, is in the know of the happenings at the Nyayo National Stadium first challenges.
With you, Janet Chepkosgei. This is all too very well. Janet, just hold on, sir. We are doing live interview on KTN. This is all too familiar, Janet. You and Angelimo. Are we seeing the formula that worked in Beijing here? Just move, sir. We are doing live interview.
Kuanzia mwanzoni mwa mwaka huu wanariadha wa humu nchini wamekuwa wakifanya maandalizi ili kujikatia tiketi za mashindano ya Olimpiki. Boss.
Only 24 athletes qualified today.
This year's National Athletics Trials will go down memory lane as one of the most competitive in the history of athletics in this country, as some of the senior athletes did not make the cut to the Olympics team. Victor Ogale, KTN at the Nyayo National Stadium, Nairobi.
Thanks, Victor Ogale. Gor Mahia's 2 new signings, Dan Serunkuma and Joseph Njuguna, made sure of 3 points for Gor Mahia as Joab Omino was unable to silence the Green Army at the Mumias Sports Complex. Western Steamers' lone goal was notched by Frederick Shimonye, but it was too little too late as the Green Army marched on. We have the details.
Dan Serunkuma played a part in both goals as Legruzic charges tore into the Western Steamers side.